Hello there, my name's John Etheridge. I'm known as the Cycling Artist. A lot of you might know me already, a lot of you probably don't. But I do pastels, I do pencils, I do paint, I do numerous things. I work on furniture, but today what I want to show you is just a little tip. This particular picture, I'm actually starting, I've literally just started, with pastel pencils. I'm using Faber-Castell pastel pencils. In my opinion, they're the best for numerous reasons. But what I've done so far, I'm not particularly happy with. And the reason for that is it's not so much her face, it's the colour of the face. Now the thing is, I've kind of gone in a bit with the grey. I've removed a little bit of it, but I thought it was a great opportunity to show you just a little tip that I use. And because of the colour of her face, it means that I've layered up the pastel, layered colours on colours and what have you, and I just think I've ended up a little bit too grey at the moment. So I want to remove some of that grey. Now the thing is, I could go in with just an ordinary rubber, and I could use a rubber and rub backwards and forwards. That would take it out. But the problem with that, in my opinion, is that when you're rubbing, you're also pushing the pastel into the paper, and that obliterates a lot of tooth, and it's just not what I feel is right. Now, we need to remove some of these layers of pastel, so the best way is to pull them out. Now, I could use a brush, but it's pastel pencil, so a brush isn't quite as good on pastel pencil as it is on soft pastel. But what I've got is a little piece of white tack. Now, you can use blue tack, but I'll use white. And the reason I use white is, and I don't know if I have this right, but I'm told that white tack is actually a bit more a bit softer than blue tack, and it becomes more pliable and it has a bit more stickiness to it. And my recommendation is to hold it in your hand for a few minutes, get it a little bit pliable, a little bit sticky, and what you do is you can shape it. You can shape it to a point, and you can pick out little bits if you want to. And I'm just waiting for the camera to focus. I'll put it over here. Yeah, that's probably better. Right, and you can put it into little tiny areas. You can move it and mould it and do whatever you want to do. Today I just want to pull out a general bit of colour, so I've pulled out some of the pastel, leaving a bit more of the tooth on the paper so I can work over it again. And I'll just ply it up a bit, get it a little bit sticky, move it. Now what you do is you dab it on and give it a couple of dabs, and by that point the powder will be on your piece of blue tack, so you then need to mould it again and mould that into the white tacks and come up with a new surface with which to dab on. Now it acts like a bit of a magnet, and it pulls the pastel out and therefore leaves the tooth of the paper, and you can then work back over with some more colour and get the appropriate colour. So I'll just show you a little bit. This could probably do with being a little bit warmer, but hopefully it should do the trick. Now I'm going to just dab on here. Now you can hear, look, and you can also see that it's lifted some of the pastel out, so it must be doing the job. Right. More pastel. I mean, this would be a little bit better with soft pastel, because obviously soft pastel is a little, makes sense, is a little softer. Anyway, give it some good dabbing, and you may not notice it on the camera, but I can assure you a lot of the grey has been removed in these areas, and it's made her face a lot lighter. Now it may be that I've got to that point and that might be enough. It's made the grey areas, which are the shadows in her face, and they're very subtle in someone's face. It may be that I've dabbed that down enough now to allow for them subtle shadows in the face. Whereby when I was adding the pastel, I put it in, but I needed to remove it. So overall, I'm hoping you can see that the face is getting lighter. I might want to just add in a little bit more pink into her face now, but that's removed loads of that grey. I mean, you can see, or hopefully you can see, within the white tack, lots of pastel. And you can keep going like that, as much or as little as you want. And eventually, you can actually get that to a point where there's tooth showing through the pastel. So that's just a little tip. Use a bit of white tack or a bit of blue tack. It's a slow process, because once you've dabbed it twice, 3 times maybe, you've covered the pastel on the white tack, and you've got to then provide a new surface for that to pick up with. Anyway, I hope that's a worthwhile tip, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.